Islam has a drinking problem.
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
Excuse that little attempt at levity, but sometimes, honestly, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I read an article the other day. A Muslim immigrant from Morocco in Bern, Switzerland. In a span of 24 hours, he attacked 9 women. Finally, he's caught. As the judge is questioning him, most of the time he says, "I don't know, I can't remember, I was drunk." There's another story just recently. A doctor from Pakistan lands a new job in London. So he is apparently in London by himself without his family. He gets drunk, gets on a bus, and starts groping a woman, a total stranger. He goes before the judge. And his attorneys, very clever, basically said, hey, this poor guy, he's away from his family, devout Muslim, doesn't drink very often, and he had some alcohol. He was like a fish out of water. So he gets just an 8-month sentence. Watch this video. This is on the streets of London as well. 3 Muslim girls viciously attack a British girl as her boyfriend is attempting to defend her. This is so brutal, so vicious, she actually had her hair torn out of her head. Well, these 3 girls go before the judge. Same thing. Devout Muslims. We're not used to drinking. So they get a 6-month suspended sentence. I want to look at the other side of the coin, the other side of this drinking problem. In a case that's now pretty famous, a woman named Asia Bibi, Pakistani Christian.
Prosecutors say Asia Bibi insulted Islam and the Prophet Muhammad. They say the alleged incident happened when she was picking berries in this field in the town of Itanwali, just about 2 hours west of Lahore. Court records show Asia was sharing a bucket of drinking water with fellow workers, but when she dipped her cup, her fellow workers refused the water, saying it had been touched by a non-Muslim woman.
She has been in jail now for 3.5, 4 years, awaiting execution of her sentence, which happens to be a death sentence. And her crime, she was a Christian, and she drank water from a Muslim well. Also in Pakistan, a man walks up to a tea stall and he drinks some tea. Now apparently he didn't see the sign that said for Muslims only. So he went to pay for the tea. And the person there noticed that this fellow had a cross around his neck, signifying that he was a Christian. He broke the rule, only Muslims. So they beat him. They stabbed him with knives, they beat him with pipes so viciously that he died of injuries to his head, his chest, and his spinal cord. Can't even imagine the savagery. And in another recent case, an American who's a student in London was walking around at night drinking a beer. Unbeknownst to him, he walks into a Sharia zone, where young Muslim men patrol the streets to make sure nothing's going on that's contrary to Sharia. So I guess they ask him to throw his beer away, and he refuses, and just watch what happens next.
It was just released by police, and we are now seeing the first time what happened to a Florida college student permanently disfigured in a brutal beatdown in East London. It happened a couple months ago. They're just releasing it now because they're trying to find the guys who did it. And now there are questions about whether the attackers are self-appointed Muslim patrols.
And finally, take a look at this picture. Permanent disfigurement. So here's the point. Whether it's Muslims drinking alcohol or you drinking their water, the drinking problem is always yours.